Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. If you guys could take your seats, we'll get started here. So here we go. Thank you. All right. Well, good morning. I'm so glad to see all of you here today. I am Sam Schuler, and I am the CEO of Community Housing Network. And on behalf of our entire team, we want to welcome you to the grand opening of Touchstone Field Place. So thank you for being here today with us. Yeah. To start off, I would love to thank our elected officials who are here today. I think State Senator Herschel Craig may be here, State Senator Michelle Reynolds, Central Ohio Regional Director for U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown's office, Joe Gilligan's here. I said hi to him earlier. And State Representative Dontavius Jarrells is here as well. And I think, Dontavius, oh yes, you have something for me. And come on up.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. On behalf of the Ohio House of Representatives, I have to say that I'm just ecstatic to be here and to know the work that you're going to be doing here in the state is going to be saving so many lives. I would not be remiss if I didn't come and present you all with a commendation from the state of Ohio. Just thank you for your service and thank you for saving lives all across the state. So let's give a round of applause.
And if we have any other elected officials here, if you'd like to stand to be recognized, we just want to applaud and thank you for all your support for what we do. We really appreciate it. So, thank you. So as I said earlier, we're really excited to be opening the first phase of Touchstone Field Place. We're also really grateful for the opportunity to partner with the YMCA to offer new beginnings to the folks that used to live in their downtown building. When the Y made the really difficult decision to no longer use that building, one of the primary motivations was the residents' living conditions. The units didn't have private baths or private kitchens, and they're really, because of structural issues, there was no way to change that if they were to rehab that building. And they really wanted the residents there to have the same private apartments and amenities that the folks in the permanent supportive housing system had at other places. And so they sought instead to partner with others to have new buildings so that their residents could have to live someplace like this. And so we were very, very honored that they chose us to partner with, and really excited that we were able to complete the first 56 units. We have another 44 that we'll start construction on at the end of this year and welcome those downtown residents and others in our community who are experiencing homelessness and other issues. So thank you, and we're excited to be here. In the 30 plus years that CHN's been around, we have developed 1,500 units of permanent supportive housing all across Franklin County, and we've served over 10,000 households. But each time we do an opening, it's special and it feels like a small miracle. To get to this finish line, to be here today celebrating Touchstone Field Place, it takes so many people, collaboration, coordination, partnerships, and of course, money. And so all of this is possible, though, for one reason. There is a community-wide commitment to the same vision, and that is we will end homelessness, and that permanent supportive housing is a key to doing that. It breaks the cycle of homelessness, and it ensures that people have the support they need to recover and thrive. And so thank you to the $13 million that went into building this, to the over $11 million that'll go into operating it, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to supply the services here. Without the commitment to that vision, it would be difficult to pull those resources together, and we are so thankful to the funders and to our community for supporting it. And we're very excited that many of them are here today to share this opening with us. And so our first speaker today has been an advocate of affordable housing since first serving on City Council in 2007 and is mayor. He has continued that commitment to affordable housing through initiatives like the Regional Housing Coalition and the Columbus Housing Strategy, as well as by setting aside $250 million in bond funds specifically for affordable housing. So please join me in welcoming our mayor, Columbus Mayor Andrew J. Ginther. Thank you.
Good morning. This is a great morning in the city of Columbus. Thank you, Sam. You know, neighbors, growth is coming to our region. I would say the sun is rising in Columbus, and it will rise faster in the next few decades than ever before in our city's history. But if we do what we know we need to do, embrace dynamic and inclusive growth, there can be a place for everybody in this region. We believe passionately that if you work in this region, you ought to be able to afford to live here too, in the neighborhood of your choice. People often ask me why housing is so important to me. Many of you know that my parents fostered for the better part of 30 years. We had foster brothers and sisters coming in of our house. Some stayed the night and spent another 10 years. I counted up 47 at some point or another had come through our house, not all at the same time. Housing is much more than four walls and a roof. It's about family. It's about children. It's about thriving neighborhoods. Strong, stable families make for great neighborhoods. Great neighborhoods are what make for great cities. But it all starts with housing. If you can have safe, affordable, stable housing for families, it can be transformational for a neighborhood, for a city, and a community. That's what today is all about. Every family in every neighborhood has to share in our success. That's what today is all about. So proud of all the partners that are here, all the stories we've heard and that are going to be shared. I'm going to go a little bit off script here because Tony Collins, President and CEO of YMCA, just shared a powerful story with me about one of the residents here. He can change the names if he does not have permission to share that story. But Tony, would you come forward and share that story very briefly? Tony Collins, everybody.
I had a chance to work with Mayor Ginther for 4.5 years. You'd think he wouldn't have given me the mic, right? He knows better than that. I happened to share a story just recently with the council president and with Mayor Ginther of a longtime resident, Tim, who we're blessed to know and get to be with over the last 17 years at Long Street. If you hadn't been to Long Street, but our Long Street facility had a number of rooms that were very, very small. Some 100 square feet, some at max about 150 square feet. I'm looking at Sue because she always corrects my numbers. But Tim lived there for a very long time, and as a resident, we asked that as a board of trustees for the YMCA of Central Ohio that we have a board member who has lived experience in the work that we do. And so Tim Weed has served as a member of our board of trustees for a number of years. And at our October meeting, I had a chance to sit next to him. It was he was coming off the board, and he was able to attend our meeting, and I sat next to him, and Tim had just moved from Long Street to our temporary location for him on the north side of Columbus to a hotel that had been adapted to accommodate our residents from Long Street that were coming from Long Street, but we weren't quite ready to move in yet. And I said, Tim, how are you doing? How are you? And Tim was battling stage 4 cancer. He had a respirator connected and was at the but was there at the meeting. And he said, Tony, he goes, I'm so excited. He goes, I finally have my own bathroom. And I thought in my head, I'm thinking to myself, battling cancer, I can't imagine. But how important is a bathroom at that point in your life, right? And he said, in a month, Tony, I'm going to be able to cook my own food. And he was so excited about that. I think it's chicken cacciatore, right? Was his dish. And he was so excited about being able to cook his own food. So I was giddy. I was excited that day. I was pumped. I was fired up. Even better, a couple of months later, Sue and I came to tour the facility here. And Tim is here. Tim's living here now. And we went up and knocked on his door to visit and say hi, and he wasn't here. You know where he was? He was out and about living life, because his health has improved so much that he can be out and about now, because now he has his own place to call home. He has his own bathroom. He has his own kitchen. And I just learned this morning from one of our team leaders here, and I can't see them, that Tim is now in remission, right? I mean, and he's not here today. He's not here today because the doctors cleared him to go travel and visit his mom, right? That's what housing is. That's why we do this. And I now that I'm here, I'll just say this. I'm incredibly thankful to our partners at the city. I'm incredibly thankful to our partners at the county, all of the folks in this room that helped make this transition possible for the residents of 40 West Long, because you've changed people's lives. So thank you.
I get to do those things as the mayor. I get to call all of this. But the next time you hear somebody say, yeah, I'm worried about the traffic, I'm worried about density, I'm worried about those people, you tell Tim's story. You tell Tim's story. This is our moment, and we have to meet it collectively as a community and tell Tim's story. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, everyone at CHN knows that I cry really easily, but I hate to cry. So Tony, you can't do that anymore. It's gonna be a long day otherwise. So thank you so much, Mayor Ginther. We so appreciate your administration and the prioritization that you give to permanent supportive housing in places like Touchstone Field Place, and your broader commitment to making sure that as our city grows, so is all the affordable and equitable opportunities for everybody else. So thank you very much. And our next speaker is equally committed to an equitable future that works for every resident in our city. As Columbus grows, Council President Shannon Hardin is focused on fostering an inclusive economy, mass transit, affordable housing, empowering small and minority businesses, providing youth pathways to the middle class. And regardless of the issue, his motto is, if it's not for all, it's not for us. So please, it is my pleasure to welcome Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with everyone, all the partners that made today happen. It's really hard to build upon the mayor's comments and Tony's comments about Tim, but I do think that they center us, what this really is, and the celebration that we are here for. I grew up about 4 blocks from here, right here in Southfield, and when this project came before City Council, it was not an easy vote. It was not that it was, and I say that not because we didn't know that this is the right thing to do, and not because we aren't committed to building housing, but as a community, we have so much work to do in seeing that the work that we're doing is for a Tim. I was the tie-breaking vote to push this through. And I say that not for any accolades, because again, this was a right vote. It was the right thing to do. But when you hear from folks and neighbors that raised you, that you grew up with, that you know the mantle of who they are, you know the stock of where they come from, but also know that on this issue, they're just not there yet. They're not right. And you have to supersede that. You have to vote over that. It makes it a difficult vote. But the truth is, we're going to have to continue to lean into more difficult votes. Because as the mayor said, this growth that is coming regardless of what we do or not. The question of if we're going to grow and get bigger has been answered. The question that is left open is, can we get bigger and be better as well? We're going to have to do this more and more. We're going to have to lean in. We're going to have to lift up stories like Tim. We're going to have to convince our neighbors. We're going to have to push ourselves to be more empathetic about who our neighbors are. Because thinking about Touchstone, thinking about the folks that you serve, that this CHN serves, knowing that some folks need a little extra support, I promise you, and I knew then when I took that vote, there is no other community better than Southfield to provide that support, because I, again, know the mantle of these people. And so even though they were hard to get there, I know that they are seeing these individuals, the folks that live here, the Tims, the folks that work here to support them as their neighbors now. The question is, can we continue to push forward? If I was able to make this tough vote in my backyard, where my mom and my nephew live, that means I'm going to take more votes like this in other folks' in neighborhoods as well. And like the mayor said, the conversations around traffic, the conversations around density, the conversations around those people, they have to fall to the background, to our North Star, which is we need more housing everywhere. Need more housing everywhere. I'm so grateful for the mayor's leadership, because what I have seen over the last several years, Columbus can do a lot in terms of building housing and building affordable housing, but we can't do it all alone. And so we're going to also have to push and encourage our neighbors in the suburbs and every other community that surrounds Columbus to do their part as well. I know everyone in this room is an advocate, but we really have to shoulder up. We have to put our shoulders back. We have to stand in the conviction that what we are doing is right, and we have to convince our friends, even when they are wrong. Even when they're wrong. They can be right on 99% of the things, but if they're wrong on this, we have to convince them that this is our moral responsibility as we grow. So congratulations. Let's continue to do more. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the council. I know that was a tough vote, particularly though for your committed leadership to this really important policy and understanding what a crucial role permanent supportive housing plays in our community. So we deeply, deeply appreciate your support. Our next speaker represents the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. HUD's commitment to funding and supporting programs to end homelessness is key to CHN and our whole region's success as a leader in providing this type of housing. We also have great collaboration with our local field office, a team led by Anthony Forte, who we now welcome to the podium. Thank you.
Sit down, I'm gonna do it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Schuler, and good morning. Protocol having been established to all of those elected officials and others, dignitaries that are here, and most of all, for each of you that has a heart of passion and a heart of service, not just for the least fortunate, but for the ones that needs help. My name is Anthony Forte, as indicated, and I am the local field office director for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Not only my pleasure to be here, but on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration and the Secretary of HUD, Marcia Fudge, then we applaud CHN on the incredible work that they have done, not just for Touchstone, but because I've been a part of this community and part of the past and the 30 years that they've had of providing good quality service. HUD's mission is to create strong, sustainable, and inclusive communities and affordable homes for all. Not housing, homes. That's what Touchstone really provides, is a home. There'll be more Tims that will continue to enjoy a higher quality of life because of places like this. Just for a moment, I want to talk about the permanent supportive housing model that CHN has implemented with this project, because it's important for people to understand just how effective, and I would say how cost efficient it is for these solutions that help individuals find good quality and safe housing. Here's what we know. One study particularly finds that the average cost of emergency services are over $31,000 over a 2-year time period for an individual that does not have safe, quality, and affordable housing. That's emergency services alone. Another study has found that permanent supportive housing projects cost up to $23,000 less per year for emergency shelter. So as we know, we have a crisis for housing, quality housing for individuals. In other words, it's cheaper, it's more cost efficient, and it provides a higher quality of service. CHN has honed this blended model and approach over the last 30 years to ensure that residents receive housing and support services that are coordinated, streamlined, and helpful. As your attention goes to the screen here, you see that this is the power of partnerships. No one can do it alone. This is the power of partnerships. We're all in this together. We hear about best practices across the country, a lot of different places, development, everything else. We're always looking at someone else, but guess what? Others are now looking at Columbus. They're looking at this type of model. They're looking at the quality that we have here. And so this is one of those projects. So I say to Ms. Schuler and to the entire Community Housing Network team, congratulations, not just on Touchstone, but 30 years of your incredible and dynamic development services. And we look forward to another 30 years of working together in this space for Columbus and for quality housing. For a moment, I'm not as important as Mayor Ginther, but I will take just a opportunity to present you something. If you would come forward, one, I would say, we like, and to President Shannon, has anybody heard of this term, YIMBY? Yes. YIMBY, you know, okay. So, yes. Let's everybody say, yes. Yes. Okay. So whether it's yes in my backyard, or yes in my community, or yes in my state, or yes in my neighborhood, it takes all of us collectively to say yes. With that, it's one HUD, one Columbus, one Ohio. We can make this happen together. A year ago, I mentioned to Sam that we were in this space a year ago. Mayor, you might remember this because you were standing right over there with the sun in your background. The difference that a year makes, but particularly when passionate people are involved in working together. So, May of 2022, there was the White House event for the housing supply, which was identifying the Biden-Harris commitment to affordable housing across the country. And we hosted it right here in this facility when it was nothing but dust, dirt, and mud. So I'm presenting to Ms. Schuler a picture, since she cries so easily, that she can remember what the past looked like, and you can now experience what hard work does and what the present represents.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll never forget that day because Senator Brown kept whispering things in my ear while others were speaking. And yeah, they weren't bipartisan, but well, thank you very, very much, Anthony. Thank you to HUD for the commitment it has to affordable housing and for your local team's support and guidance and for this kind gift. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Our next speaker is the new president and CEO of the Community Shelter Board, Shannon Isom. We've worked with CSB for more than 20 years to provide tons of housing like Touchstone Field Place all over the region. And we're so excited that Shannon's joined our community, and we're really looking forward to continuing all our work with CSB with Shannon at the helm. So please join me in welcoming Shannon Isom.
I want to first just not thank you, Sam, for what you've done, but to celebrate you. There's something really special to be able to be at the head of an organization that provides not only a partnership with comprehensive care, but coordinated care. And in that word coordination, there needs to be a commitment that when things are difficult and it's hard to work with each other while serving those that sometimes are hard to work with, that you then stand in that gap and stay committed anyway. And there's something great too about coming into a neighborhood not knowing anyone, a community, a job knowing no one, and then there's some spirits that continue to show up in commitment. And that was Sam for me. Everywhere I go, there she is. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. In that, there's a sense of belonging. And although we've talked a lot about services and the people we serve, I'm going to give 30 seconds to talk about that I am so glad we are here, finally knowing that buildings serve us too. And that it is important for spaces to look beautiful, regardless of what we think you deserve, regardless of your class or your station, or regardless of what you think that the value of who you are is, that spaces should provide dignity. Because see, spaces give, and they themselves get tired and worn out and too small. So I'm glad we're here, that we know that bigger walls then can provide bigger spaces, which then provide bigger treatment, which can provide bigger healing and bigger safety. That colors matter, floors matter, windows and light matter, that it matters to be in spaces of peace. So I celebrate you, Sam, the YMCA, the people that are dedicated, our political officials who are dedicated to making a better tomorrow. I'm excited for being here. Thank you for welcoming me to this space and celebrating this moment.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful for CSB's leadership and commitment in our long partnership and to making sure everyone has a place to call home. So thank you so much. Our next speaker is Sean Smith, who's the Executive Director of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, or OFA. OFA's tax credit program and their Housing Development Assistance Program, which I always like to point out is funded through the Ohio Housing Trust Fund. So yay, and keep supporting that. They're key sources for development for Touchstone Field Place. So please welcome Sean.
Good morning. How exciting. I love doing these. It's so much fun. So our mission at OFA is to facilitate the production of affordable housing across the state of Ohio. And we do that through the administration of tax credits and gap financing and loan products, and it's all very boring stuff on its face, right? But those assets are leveraged to turn that dirt, dust, mud into assets like this. We will have decades upon decades of assistance here on Lockbourne Road to those who most need it. They're real people. They have real needs, they have real challenges, and this asset right here is going to help take care of that. I'd like to acknowledge the hard work and collaboration amongst all of the partners, Community Housing Network, the Y. It takes a lot of hard work and collaboration to make something like this happen. On behalf of Governor DeWine Husted, or Governor DeWine, Lieutenant Governor Husted, I'd like to congratulate you on all the hard work and look forward to working with you in the future. So thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much, Sean, for your leadership, and really the entire OFA team for consistently setting aside funds specifically for permanent supportive housing. We could not do this without that commitment, so thank you. Our next speaker is Scott Amaral, the Chief Program Officer for the Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority. CMHA committed rent subsidy for all 56 units. That's at $11 million I mentioned earlier at Touchstone Field Place, and that ensures that every unit here is affordable for our residents. So please welcome Scott Amaral.
Good morning, everyone. As Sam said, I'm Scott Amaral, and I am the newly minted Chief Program Officer for the Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority. And this is my first opportunity to speak on behalf of the authority, and I have to say, you guys are killing me. You are tough acts to follow, but I will give it a try. CMHA is very proud to be a partner in this development because it exemplifies our mission. And our mission is to help people access affordable housing through collaborative partnerships to develop, renovate, and maintain housing, promote neighborhood revitalization, and assist residents in accessing needed social services. And I want to follow on something that Mayor Ginther said. Housing in a home is more than four walls and a roof. The people that we serve need that, yes, but they need more. And the wonderful thing about the partnerships that the people in this room have developed is that we have created a way to give that more, to provide services, to help people overcome their barriers, and to help people thrive in the communities that we create. CMHA is incredibly proud to be a part of those collaborations. We are proud to be a part of this particular development, and we look forward to many more of the same, and hopefully maybe a few more opportunities for me to be in front of you and with you and say a few remarks. So on behalf of our CEO, Charles Hillman, and our Board of Commissioners, thank you very much for allowing us to participate in this, and we look forward to many more occasions to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott, and please say thank you to Charles for us and the entire team at CMHA. We really appreciate everything you've done. And I do have to say that CMHA is a model leader nationally. Not that many PHAs across the country dedicate project-based Section 8 the way that you have, and in consistently showing communities that when you work together and share resources, you can do a lot of amazing things. Since 2002, CMHA has committed project-based rent subsidies to over 1,000 of CHN's units. That's 70% of our portfolio. So thank you very, very much. So our next speaker is Lark Mallory, President and CEO of the Affordable Housing Trust for Columbus and Franklin County, the shortest, easiest name ever. But the Trust's pre-development loan program is a hugely important resource to us while we're trying to get the permanent financing. We rely on her team to help bridge that. And so please welcome Lark Mallory.
So I take off my glasses so I can't see your faces and I don't cry. So I have remarks, but I'm going to go a little off script too, Mayor, but I won't call you up here, Tony. I have been amazed, and what hasn't been highlighted is the public-private partnership that our mayor often and our city council president often talk about. But you have the federal government here, you have the state of Ohio, and you have the city. All of our governmental sources, all of those public sources, we're going to talk about those private places. So I'm a nonprofit, I run a nonprofit. We make loans to developers of affordable housing. Been in business for 22 years and have funded over 13,000 units, created or preserved over 13,000 units. We are also the result of a public-private partnership. I don't want us to lose sight of that because it's one of the reasons I am so bullish on housing in Central Ohio. if we continue to link arms the way we have done for this project, we can make a difference in what we do about our housing crisis. So whether it's PSH, and thank you, Sam, and I see Ryan back there and the rest of your team for allowing us to partner with you on these projects, or just dealing with homelessness, housing overall, if we continue to link arms, then we can make a difference in this housing crisis that we're facing. AHT, we stand ready to continue the partnership. We will bring the AHP program, which is part of the Federal Home Loan Banks program. We will bring our own balance sheet, and we're also raising a regional fund, but that's a different conversation. We are excited to partner with you on this project. We look forward to many more. Thank you. Public-private partnerships.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lark. We really have such an incredible working relationship with the trust, and I always call them the Bailey Savings and Loan, because it's like, it's a wonderful life. You just go in, if they know you and you're good people, you get your loan. Old school. So thank you very, very much for everything the trust has done over the years for us. We appreciate it. And our next speaker is Jasmine. Yeah, okay, great, sorry. So we had a little switch out, so I had to check. Jasmine Roselle from the Business Development Officer for Community Development at Huntington National Bank. Huntington consistently partners with CHN on our projects, and they've been an invaluable resource. So please join me in welcoming Jasmine.
Thank you and good morning. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I can't read my notes. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate the grand opening of Touchstone Field Place Apartments. Affordable and safe housing is important to the well-being and health of everyone, and Huntington Bank is proud to be a part of this development. We have a long history of serving our communities. As a bank, our desire is to help drive meaningful change, and that is why we are here today. Affordable housing development like Touchstone aligns with Huntington's $40 billion strategic community plan, which reflects our commitment to improve the economic vitality, financial security, and sustainable future for those we serve. So to Community Housing Network, the YMCA, and all the other partners that have come together, we give you our heartfelt thanks. We are better and stronger when we work together.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Huntington's commitment to affordable housing. The community plan is committed literally billions to making sure there's affordable housing, and we really appreciate Huntington's leadership on that issue. So thank you very much. Our next speaker is Catherine Cawthon, President and CEO of the Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, as well as the Ohio Capital Impact Corporation. And as our roster of speakers show, it takes many partners to make projects like Touchstone Field Place a reality. And so for over 20 years, we've been partnering with Ohio Cap, and they've been instrumental in bringing projects and partners together. So please join me in welcoming Catherine.
So I'm very fortunate to come and represent a staff, a board, and many investors and lenders who participate with Ohio Capital on these projects. So I am just one of many folks that are behind the scenes helping and assisting folks like Sam and her team at CHN and other very worthwhile projects here in Central Ohio. You know, we are a financial intermediary. So we not only bring our balance sheet, but we represent many folks from the investment and lending community that don't have the infrastructure to get in and actually be able to invest in these with their own staff. So we provide that. We provide underwriting guidance. We provide the relationships that we have with the allocating agencies and all the other partners that it takes to make these projects move forward. So we thank you for picking Ohio Capital. And why is it important to have the right committed syndicator of these tax credits and lending products is because we're not always the same. You know, Ohio Capital has been doing this over 30 years. We are a nonprofit organization. We have provided over $6 billion in the Ohio and contiguous states. And those investors are folks like our partners at Huntington, folks that really have been recognized in our community to being leaders and really making sure that we go the extra mile and get things off the ground and make sure that not only do we sit here and cut the ribbon, but we're here for 15 years because that's what our residents need and that's what they deserve. So we have created or preserved over 60,000 units of affordable housing, and not only that, but when we invest in a project, of course, we're a nonprofit organization and we're a business. We not only bring the equity from our partners, but we also take our bottom line and invest it back into the neighborhoods through grants. And so Ohio Cap's bottom line is invested through Ohio Capital Impact Corporation, which we are thrilled to be partnering also through that entity as well. So I want to say thank you. And thank you for recognizing us as one of your partners, and we look forward to many more success stories like this one. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone at Ohio Cap. They're a great team, and as Catherine said, obviously pulling the private capital together is important, but the Impact Corp has also made so many philanthropic gifts to us, including helping with the development of this project, but a ton of our services are also supported through that, and we really, really appreciate that partnership. And so we have two more speakers, but before I hand them off, I just want to acknowledge and thank the Federal Home Loan Bank of Cincinnati. The bank's AHP program is also a key resource to our projects. They've also had an incredible impact on affordable housing in their whole region, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. Since 1990, they've awarded over $849 million to develop more than 105 affordable housing units, which is a truly remarkable investment. So we want to thank Andy Howell, their president and CEO, and the entire Federal Home Loan Bank team, and I think Melissa Dallas might be here. I thank her as well. And also the Franklin County Commissioners, they also the commissioners also helped fund the development of this project. President John O'Grady, Commissioner Kevin Boyce, and Commissioner Erica Crawley. They have not just supported this project, but they've supported CHN's projects over all these years, and a great partner, and we really appreciate that. They had their general session today, so unfortunately they weren't able to come and speak. So thank you to both of them. As I shared earlier, the YMCA is our partner in this project, so I'd like to welcome Sue Darby from the Y, Senior Vice President of Housing. Thank you.
I just want to take this in for a moment. I know this is very selfish, but in 2018, the YMCA made the very difficult decision to decide to relocate the 400 men that lived at 40 West Long. That was a big decision, and it was a really big undertaking, and I knew for sure who we wanted to partner with, Community Housing Network. I want to say a special thank you to Ryan Castle, who has been so patient with someone that knows nothing about this world. He drove me around in his car talking about all the properties, and so the kindness between Ryan and Beth Long has just been fantastic. So thank you. Like it's been said, permanent supportive housing works. It's nationally proven, it's cost effective, it reduces homelessness in a community. Since 1924, the downtown YMCA has served 100,000 men, 100,000 in over almost 100 years. The YMCA is a beacon of hope, and we did provide permanent supportive housing for over 1,000 men in that building. But over time, like was said, renovations and the maintenance just could not keep up with, the resources just could not keep up with the needs of that building. And so we decided to start the relocation process. But man, was it an amazing process. And the quality of life that is here And compared to 40 West Long, it's just non-comparison, isn't it, Donald? Through our work with CHN, we are still able to offer some amazing support services here. Life skills, mental health and addiction support, healthcare, employment coaching, benefits assistance, anything the residents want to stabilize, recover, and thrive. We're grateful for our incredible Y team that works in this building every day. Can you guys acknowledge yourself? Thank you. And this space is fun. I mean, look at this room. Look at the amazing view, the grilling opportunities, the cornhole, the gardening. This is such an amazing space. And it's healing. And it's hopeful. And it's caring. Everybody deserves a home like that. So, like was mentioned, we're making national waves here in Columbus. We are. And I'm thankful for all the support in this room. I know so many faces. And in 2018, when we decided to make this, I just want to say thank you to everybody in this room in a heartfelt way. Thank you. So now I get to introduce a gentleman that I have known for over a decade, Donald Trimble. Donald Trimble has been a resident with the YMCA since 2011. He started at 40 West. But I'm going to read his bio here. Donald grew up in Cincinnati. He's a proud veteran of the United States Air Force. Thank you.
Aim high.
He holds an associate's degree from the University of Cincinnati. He is the third floor rep of Touchstone's Resident Advisory Board. And Donald is an avid sports fan and would be amiss if we didn't mention his Bearcats and Bengals, which I'm now supposed to say, Who Dey.
Who Dey?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Isn't God good? I'll make this quick. My journey started with the YMCA approximately 12 years ago. I can say this today, that the YMCA actually saved my life. If it wasn't for the YMCA, I do not know where I'd be right now, dead or in prison, or don't know. Anyway, Touchstone to me is a foundation. It's a roots. It's hard to do anything in life that is meaningful without a roof over your head, people that believe in you. The staff at the YMCA through the years have been amazing. They bend over backwards for us to make sure that we're good. And I believe this connection, this new partnership with the CHN is going to be tremendous. It's going to be amazing. I actually am a member of the advisory board here at Touchstone. One of my initiatives is to get NA and AA meetings in the building for those who want to attend. We have a lot of things planned for the community. And CHN has been a tremendous partnership, and I think it's going to be even better as years go by. I hope to continue to be a part of that. We're all miracles in progress, and without the help from HUD, CHN, the YMCA, and other organizations that I don't even know of that are helping us. A bunch of them probably, a bunch of letters. But we are all we're miracles in progress. And I just want to say on behalf of all the men and women that live here, we all came here on different journeys, different roads, but we're all here at the same time. I'm learning as I get older, with God's grace, May 20th, I'll be 57. Almost going to my 6th decade, and we're all miracles in progress. At one point, as Sue said, there was 400 men at capacity at the YMCA downtown. 44 have made it to this point. So that tells me that we are all miracles, and the ladies that are here too, the 12 ladies that are in this building, we're all miracles in progress. God's not done with us yet, so I hope you aren't done with us either. And that's all I got to say. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donald, for sharing your story with us. You are the reason we're here today, so thank you. And please extend our gratitude to all of the downtown YM residents who've joined us at Touchstone Field Place, because I know that waiting for a building to open, moving more than once, it sounds like, getting used to a new community, those are really stressful things. And I just want to say how much we really appreciate your patience and cooperation as we built this new home for you, so thank you. There it goes. I got it, though. It's gotten better. So before we conclude, I do want to acknowledge our outstanding development team who are with us today. Rockford Construction, Bob Yoakum and Paul Young, been great partners. Thank you. Also Berardi, Joe Berardi and Mike Lee for being great architects for us, and the entire Berardi team. And then Carlisle Patchen and Murphy Carroll Sheehan is our legal counsel. It's a great development team. Also, of course, want to thank our Board of Trustees. They are deeply committed to our mission, and they generously share their time, their treasure, their talent to help us achieve successes like Touchstone Field Place. And just a fantastic board, and I appreciate them so much. I also want to thank all of the CHN team. I have the honor of working with, I got it back, don't worry, deeply caring and compassionate people, and I'm humbled every day by their commitment. And so thank you to everyone at CHN who makes Touchstone Field Place possible. The amazing design, how it operates, and how it supports folks is because of that team. And finally, I want to thank all our speakers and champions. Without you, none of this is possible. And that concludes our program today. So please enjoy a tour. You'll see tour guides out with tour signs. They are really excited to show you around, so please take advantage of that. Enjoy some refreshments, and please pick up a gift as you leave. And thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the celebration today. We genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. And I always have to add this little house speakers. You get to stay and get your picture taken really quick, but everyone else, enjoy yourselves.